Hey guys, Amanda Blackson here, exclusive Black Status presenter with Unique, and today I'm going to show you how to highlight and contour with Unique products. So I always start with primer. I actually start with rose water, then moisturizer, then primer. I've already done all three of those steps, but I get a very, very flawless finish, and I definitely believe that those products are a huge part of that, especially the primer. So the Glorious Primer should definitely be your first step at the very least. Then I start with a base coat on my face of just whatever shade is closest to me. For me, that is Bisque and the cream in Velour. So I just, you guys may have one shade that's closer to your base, whatever skin tone your face is, you may have a shade that is closest to that already without mixing. For me, these are pretty similar. I just really like the blend of the both of them. So we're going to start with that. And like I said, you're just going to do one base coat of the color that matches your skin tone the best. The thing I love about our products is that you don't have to worry about putting a lot on to get the coverage that you want, because you're not going to feel like it's caked on your face. I never ever feel like I have a ton of makeup on, so it's perfect. Now, what I use here is a blending bud, and you're going to want to get that wet before you use it, and then you're just going to kind of blend all of that in just slightly. This definitely helps with a flawless finish too. I used to use just a brush before this, or a little like sponge that came in the touch, but I love using this much better, and I think that it just provides an even coverage everywhere you go. So everywhere you touch it, it's going to even everything out. Okay, now there's your base coat. From here, you're going to take a shade lighter than your face. For me, that is cream in the BB cream, and you're going to take your foundation brush. So if your natural skin is fair like mine and you use Bisque in the BB cream, then the color cream is going to be perfect for you. You're going to take it right here. Make these little triangles right here. And then you're going to make an upside down triangle right here. And you're going to come straight down the nose like that. Then you're going to dab a little there, dab a little here, and then I take the rest and just kind of put it here. That's where your lighter shade's going to go. Again, one shade lighter than whatever color you normally use. For me, that is cream. It's obviously going to look way too light. That's okay. Do not blend it in just yet. Then you're going to take a shade darker, or two shades darker than your skin tone. Don't get scared with this. I use caramel. I know a lot of people that are fair-skinned are super scared of using caramel. Don't be scared. Obviously, you can see how much lighter this is than my skin. You know that we're going to do some blending, and this is perfect. It's a perfect shade, I think. So we're going to take the caramel, and you are going to go with your darker shade right below where your earlobe stops. Do what you don't want to do. You don't want to come too far this way. You shouldn't be able to see it when you're looking straight ahead. Maybe a little bit, but you should not come up close to your mouth. And you don't want to go higher than your cheekbone. You don't want to be on your cheekbone at all. You want to be below that. Okay? And then I need a little bit more. You're basically filling in the gaps. That's what we're doing with caramel, with your darker shade. You're going to go up here. You're going to kind of come in a little bit onto that triangle just slightly. And then you're going to go up here. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It looks dark. You can come around here. This is exactly why I use the headband, because I do have blonde hair, and you want to get close to the hairline with it. So put a little right here and a little right there. Kind of come down just a little bit maybe. And then I go underneath also. Okay, this is what you will look like before you start blending. You will look like you have war paint on. That's okay. Take your blending bud again and just do the same thing we did earlier. Start dabbing, dabbing, dabbing all over to blend this in. I always start on my dark areas first. And I don't touch the light areas a whole lot in the beginning of this process. Blend all of this in, go down here. Then what I will do, once I have blended that pretty well, you're still gonna look crazy, I flip the blending bud over and I use the other side for my light areas. And then take your light areas out into your dark areas too, because that will blend it for you. See? No more crazy war paint. Now, what I do is I layer my highlighting contouring with powder. Now, some people just like foundation, some people just like powder. I use them both because I feel like, I coach and I'm a mom, and after my powder has buffed off a little bit during the day, the foundation just creates that extra level of depth. And I get all day coverage with this. So, you're going to want to do the same thing. I find the powder that matches my face the best, and then I do one shade lighter than that, and then I use the bronzer that suits me the best. So what I'm going to do is I first start with the shade that's lighter than my skin, and that is going to be Fresh. And I take that with my Unique powder brush, and I go right over those light areas that we did before with the powder. So I take this and just kind of dab it, dab it, dab it everywhere. Sorry. Okay. Now, everywhere that you put the light foundation, you can put the light powder. That will work perfect. Now what I do is I love the Touch powder. I love the Touch shade Velour. It's perfect for me. So I take that and I put that basically all over. I'm just kind of blending with this a little bit. You don't want to go over too much of your of your light shade, but you can kind of get up in that hairline a little bit, blend that out. There we go. Now I take the Beachfront bronzer in Sunset with my blush brush. I use the blush brush because it's a little more of a concentrated area that you can control it much better that way. So I take the bronzer and I put it exactly where we put our dark foundation earlier. And this is really up to you how far you want to go with this or how dark you want to go with this, okay? Because some people, they really like to contour and they really like to get it dark. For me, I probably go a little more subtle than most people, but you're basically just going to go, right in this area, all the way around your hairline, come down below your cheekbone. You can come down and blend below your neck, come back around, right below that cheekbone, come around. Make sure you've blended it all in really well. And then you can kind of even just blend it that way. Sometimes I will even go back and put a little bit of lightness. Just depends. It depends on if it looks blended enough and if it looks like my lightened areas are bright enough, which today I believe that they are. So there's that. That is always my final step for highlighting and contouring. However, I always add blush. I feel like blush just sets off the highlighting and contouring. It just finishes it completely. So today I'm going to be using the pressed blush in Stunning. And I don't use a lot of blush. I use just a little bit, and I'm going to show you. I take it and I barely dab it like this. I have no idea what's on my fingers, by the way. But barely get your blush on there. The tip to applying blush to make sure you don't get a ton in one concentrated area is to just do a little bit at a time and then take it sideways like this and just wherever you want to start, just kind of barely graze it over that until you've gotten a little bit off of there. Then you can start applying a little bit of pressure. But I don't do much before I've gotten it all off of my, or a little bit off of my brush, because I don't want a big red blob right there, or a big pink blob. So that's how you're going to get that sort of just glow, pink glow, is to apply it on its side. Our blush brush is amazing for that too. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Super duper easy with it. Then, once I've gotten a little bit of it off there, I'll kind of put some pressure and get some color going. Smiling helps with blush a lot because you get your cheeks to pop just a little bit. Okay. As you can see the contouring there, you can see the bright areas. The blush really just sets it off, I think. That's how I do it. That is how I get flawless coverage through highlighting and contouring, all with Unique products. BB cream, the pressed powder, the touch powder and the touch cream. You just need to find the shades. You really only need, a base color in foundation or in BB cream, either one or both. You just need one base color, one that's lighter, one that's darker, and then the same in powder. A base color, one that's lighter, one that's darker. You don't have to mix tones. I just do because that's what works best for me. So try it out and do your best, but this is exactly how I highlight and contour. And I had never highlighted and contoured before Unique. So I love it. I do it basically every single day. Even if I'm just putting a little bit on, I still like to have the light areas because I think that it's just a totally different dimension when it comes to the look. And it's slimming, which I love. I love it. There you have it, you guys. Enjoy.